Thanks for joining us. I'm Felicia Sonmez, and here is today's Trail Mix. Well, voters are going to the polls today in Arizona's 8th district for the special election for the seat of former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. Now, this is a race that has been closely watched on both sides, and the polls are showing that it has been a competitive one over the past couple of months. So there are likely going to be many lessons drawn by both Democrats and Republicans after tonight's results. And that brings us to today's number to know. That number is $4 million. That is the amount of spending by outside groups on the race for Giffords' seat. Now, that is not just for the race in November, that is just focused on the current special election. So it's a huge amount of money, and it just underscores the first lesson that we have drawn from this race, which is that it's no longer possible for candidates to control the civility factor. The Democrat in the race, Ron Barber, is a former Giffords aide, and he told us several months ago that he was planning on running a campaign based on civility. It turns out that a Democratic super PAC supporting him has run some of the harshest ads that we have seen in this cycle to date, and that just underscores the fact that in a super PAC world, it is no longer possible for candidates to be the ones making decisions about the tone of a campaign. So that brings us to our second point here, which is that all politics is national, and that is particularly true when you look at a race such as this one. Now, you might assume that in a race for Giffords' seat, she would loom large over the campaign, but in fact, both sides have instead turned their focus to national issues. Barber has trained his fire on the Republican Jesse Kelly's support for House Budget Committee Chairman Paul Ryan's budget blueprint, and Kelly in turn has focused his criticism of Barber on President Obama's agenda when it comes to the national health care law. And that brings us to our third and final point here, which is that Election Day is no longer just a single day. Take a look at the numbers as they come in after tonight's vote, and you will find that about 2/3 of the ballots cast will likely have been cast through early voting, which started on May 17th in the race. So that is just a reminder to candidates as well as the groups supporting them that they need to get their game together and get their ads up on the air long before Election Day rolls around. So that is today's Trail Mix. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay tuned to Election 2012 for the latest from the Trail.